Morning, Frank. Thank you for joining us today. Let's start off, and if you tell me a bit about yourself and about what your business does.
Yes, nice to meet you, Milton. Complete PC Solutions has been operational for 25 years, so we're a well-established IT company in Victoria, one of the leading MSPs in Victoria, whereby companies who are too small to have their own IT department will outsource it to us. So we pretty much become their outsourced IT department for a fraction of the cost of having your own IT department. So that's the main thing we do. And then on top of that, we'll have all these add-on services, which we can go through. So we'll go through the questions.
Frank, what's an MSP?
Managed service provider.
Yep.
But we traditionally called it outsourced IT department. We still do.
Yes.
Everyone else, because we've been doing it for 25 years, so we're probably one of the first to do it in Victoria, if not Australia, where for say $50 a month per device, per laptop, desktop, you become a managed client, which means we become your outsourced IT department for all IT support, whether it's remote or on-site support. It's a way of a company pretty much outsourcing the IT department. That's how we look at it.
Right.
And because we've been doing it for 25 years, we know how it works better than most, and others have come on more recently don't offer the level of service we do, because when we did it, it was all on-site support.
Right.
Now everyone has remote support, so all the new ones that have come on and done it the last 5-10 years don't offer on-site support part of the service. It's an additional charge for majority of other MSPs. Whereas for us, it's all part of the service.
Great. So what geographic area do you cover?
Mainly any suburb of Melbourne. We do have some interstate ones as well, but majority any suburb of Melbourne, really.
Okay. And how did you get into this business? You said you've been in for 25 years. How did you get into it?
While I was at uni, I worked at Complete PC while I was at uni, pretty much. So I got a job at Complete PC Solutions as a technician. So the first 3 years, so I've owned it for 21 years. So I bought it exactly March 2002. So I've owned it for 21 years, but for 3 years before that, I worked as a technician while I was at uni. And then once I finished uni, it was a funny story in a way where while I was at uni, I learned about options contracts.
Yeah. And
during that, with the exercise, I drew up 2 options contracts and gave it to, at the time, the owner of the company. Yeah. And when I finished university, he executed one of those option contracts. He goes, I brought the exercise that option contract, yeah. And,
wow, okay.
So yeah, so I did it as a university assignment, but I then also provided to the owner at the time. And yeah, he exercised on the option when I finished uni. So you're now best placed to take the company to the next step because you've gone through university. He set it up straight over year 12, so he didn't go to uni. Yep. Whereas I went to uni and did a double degree in Bachelor of Accounting and Bachelor of Computing. Right, okay. So he said I got the education behind me to take the company to the next level. So
fantastic. And what would be your ideal client or customer for you?
Ideal client will be like 10 to 50 or even 100, 10 to 100 staff, really, whereby they're too small to have their own IT department. Yep. And big enough whereby they have to have IT support, someone looking after their IT, whereas some of the smaller ones tend to just get by day by just having ad hoc support. But generally between 10 and 100, you need good IT support, and it needs to be outsourced because it's not cost effective to have it in-house.
Right. What's the biggest challenge you're facing in the business right now?
From a business point of view or from a client point of view?
Well, no, business point of view.
Business?
Your business.
As we know, every organisation, majority, especially hospitality, it's hard to get staff at the moment.
Yep.
There's just a lack of people out there either looking for work or lack of people there available to work because, just the after effect of COVID, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people went back. I think people change industries, or especially the last 2 years, there was no international students. So that's sort of will sort of pick up this year now, as because uni just started this month.
Sure,
So
yeah.
all those international students would have arrived in the last couple of weeks or so, last month.
Sure.
So hopefully that fixes, in particular, the hospitality industry. I know struggles immensely with that. My local, for example, my local Subway is only open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday because they've only got one person and they've got available at the moment to work.
Gosh, yeah, okay, right. So, yeah.
So hospitality's been hit really bad, yeah.
So what one or two actions have you taken because of COVID and the pandemic? And and are they working?
So with we utilize the time, especially when we're on lockdown, for my staff to spend on cybersecurity. So pretty much increasing the level of cybersecurity protection our clients have.
Right.
So even before Scott Morrison came out and said we need multi-factor authentication, we're under state-based attack. Even before that, we started implementing 2FA with all our clients
Right.
to protect them from hacking. So that's one big thing we did. It's been a game changer for us because we've had no issues around email. It's been hacked or compromised.
Good. Good.
Because they're protected. You can't hack it if you've got 2FA, pretty much.
Fantastic. So anything else you've done?
Also, yeah, with COVID, we implemented hosted phone systems. So cloud-based phone systems so people can work from home. So the handset can be taken from the office and plugged in at home and ring as if it's in the office. That's another big thing we did during COVID, give people the flexibility to work from anywhere.
Right, great. So, Frank, what's the biggest learning you've had since being a business owner over the 20 years? The biggest learning?
Probably around, we always put customer service first and provide good customer service. And that's probably why we've grown our managed services so much. Our clients that outsource the right people to us. We've now got 70 businesses in Melbourne which outsource the right people to us. So and that's grown because of customer service. And we're authentic and run things ethically. And we more see it as a way of, it's got to be a win-win. So with our managed services, we're different to other clients where we don't have many add-on charges at all. It's very rare. We try to have it where we get our fixed monthly fee so we can hire staff from a cash flow point of view, but also they have a fixed monthly budget for their IT department.
Right.
Whereas a lot of other competitors will charge additional for on-site support, charge additional for new PC setups. We don't.
Okay, great. So what have been some of the biggest issues you've had to overcome on your journey in business?
Biggest issues, probably the biggest one would be cybersecurity threats to clients initially. We were the first Malwarebytes antivirus partner in Australia, and that would have been probably the start of 2018. That was a game changer for us because they were the first to have anti-ransomware protection.
Yeah.
Before that, it didn't matter what you had, whether it was Trend Micro, McAfee, Symantec, Kaspersky. You got an infection of a malware with ransomware in it. Your data got encrypted, and you had to pay the ransom. You had no choice. Right. So yeah, we touch wood, like since start of 2018, our clients haven't been ransomware because we went with the world leader of anti-ransomware, and they still are the world leader. And you don't get ransomware with you got that product in place, Malwarebytes.
Yep, fantastic. So Frank, what have you learned about yourself during your journey?
Yeah, just learn to delegate. I was lucky when I first bought the business. I did a 12-month business coaching program with Brian Tracy. He's like the godfather of business coaching and sales coaching. Yep. Yeah, so I was lucky. It was the first time he branched into Australia, and he flew to Australia to Sydney once every 3 months. Yep. Had a full day with him.
Yes.
And that taught me delegation, time management, and he helped me with all that. And it was a good time. And I remember I just bought the business and I went to an information night in Melbourne, and the guy who hosted it said, "Frank, this is the perfect time for you to do it."
Yeah, right.
And I said, I've just bought the business, so I can't really afford it. But they discounted for me by $1,000 to cover my flights to Sydney.
Fantastic. That's
And it was
great.
cheap. Like in the end, I only spent about 3,000. I think it was there 3,999. It was 2,999 for a 12-month business coaching program with the godfather of coaching.
That's dirt
Tracy.
cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that, that must have been group coaching then, was it?
Group, but a small group. It was only about 5 tables of 10.
Okay.
Because his first time into Australia.
Okay, right. Fair enough. Yeah.
He wanted to branch out the Australian market. And yeah, it was a very small, he told me, he goes, utilize his time. He goes, in America, I can't go around to each table because there's normally 2,000 plus in the room.
Yeah, right.
Normally in a theatre, whereas we had round tables and we got one-on-one time with him. Just put your hand up, he come and help you. Yeah. So yeah, it was very lucky and good opportunity and learned a lot from that. Set the business up.
So how do you find your inspiration each day? What inspires you to get out of bed?
Just probably just protecting clients from cybersecurity is the main thing. Probably that sort of it's a big thing at the moment and has been big for about 5 years. Meeting new clients and protecting them from cybersecurity threats, putting in solutions to protect them. Because clients that don't have an outsourced IT company that are small, don't have those solutions in place, we find. Sure. Because that simply, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. So do you have any favorite quotes or sayings that keep you focused every day?
Well, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Napoleon Hill, I think that one.
Yeah, right.
Because I picked that up, especially with recruiting staff. How they do anything is how they do everything. So if you pick up them being lazy on something or being not finishing things off or something, that's how they do most things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
It's a very important thing. Yeah.
When you find that with staff, what do you do to solve that?
Well, you sort of see it. Say in the interview process, you might pick it up. For example, I had it recently where someone come for interview, had to park his car, hopped in his car, and it was just a mess. Junk everywhere. And there was alarm bells that, he's a messy person and lazy person.
Right? Good point. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Good stuff. Okay. What would you say to someone thinking of going into business?
That, you really should do it before starting a family. Say that again, sorry? I always advise people that say they're like in their 30s, 40s, and they're sick of working somewhere and they want to go into business. I say to them, it's not easier than what you're currently doing. You've got to work harder than what you're currently doing. Yeah. So I advise people to do it before they start a family. So by the time they start a family, the business is set up and they've got people to help them run it. Okay. Which is what I did. Like I worked for the first 5 years, pretty much 10 a.m. till 10 p.m, 6 days a week. Right. For the first 5 years to get it set up. Like if you want to create a serious business, like most people that like 40s, 50s, 60s that want to go on their own, it's just something to do. It will never get big because they don't have the time. Unless, I say to them, either do it before having kids or once the kids are finished high school, pretty much. Sure. Okay. One or the other is what advice I give people. Okay. So if you started your business again, what would you do differently? Good question. Probably just watch. Cash flow is king. Just watch cash flow more closely. But I was lucky from my accounting degree background. I was always looking at cash flow, but especially the early days, didn't realize how important it was. Because there's companies out there that go broke making a profit because they've got no cash flow. Yep. Yeah, so cash flow is king, and watch your cash flow, and don't hire staff ahead of the required, because that means you haven't got the cash flow to meet your commitments. your financial commitments, bills.
Okay. What's the best advice you would give to your 18-year-old self?
Best advice to 18-year-old self. Yeah, always look in the positive in every situation. Even if something happens that's a negative situation or something goes wrong, there's a lesson in every situation. You just got to find the positive in it and learn from it.
Yeah, good. So what does the future look like, and what do you see are the main challenges moving forward in your industry?
Main challenge, which most people don't realize is going to happen, is the move to blockchain / Web 3.0.
Yeah.
So I personally believe everything that's web-based at the moment will move to that, or should move to that in the next 5 to 10 years, because it's more secure.
Right.
It currently can't be hacked.
Yep.
Everything's been hacked around the government, Medibank, Optus, all that stuff has been hacked because of one centralized database, one central location. When it's not blockchain, it's decentralized. Just like we know, come out in the media this week that 4 banks in Australia are about to release their digital dollar on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum blockchain is across thousands of computers around the world. You can't hack it.
Okay, right.
So
And what
things
about
will move there.
you personally in the business? And what's it look like for the future?
Yeah, like we're looking to see how we can adapt blockchain technologies. We do well with what we do with our managed services.
Yep.
So we believe that that part won't be affected, the managed services, because companies will always need endpoint management of their devices, laptops, desktops.
Yep.
So that part's fine, but it's more about our bolt-on services. Some of those will move to blockchain. Like I say, cloud backup, it's more secure if it's on the blockchain. Like I know as well, Amazon, AWS have already offering blockchain hosted services already. Most people don't know that, but they already are. And the biggest client to do it so far for asset management is Nestle chocolate. Mm-hmm. For their asset tracking. It's all on the blockchain now. Yep. So the good thing about the blockchain is it can't be deleted either. Yep. So there's no external or internal fraud can be done. You can't delete it once it's in the blockchain.
Okay.
Fantastic. So banks, majority of Australian banks are currently trialing as well to move to blockchain. Yep. Because people don't know, most fraud within the banks is internal fraud.
Okay, right.
So there's a lot of benefits of blockchain technology.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, Frank. Now, finally, are there any offers you'd like to include in the newsletter we put out for prospective clients or leads or? Yeah,
like we will, when you sign a 12-month managed service agreement, whereby we become your outsourced IT department, we will give you the first month for free to trial it, to see how, make sure you like it. Then you can cancel anytime within that month if it's not suited what you want, doesn't meet your requirements.
Right, fantastic. That's great. Well, thanks, Frank. That's been really good. Really good to talk to you, hear more about you and the business and the journey through the business too, because it's tough. There's no question about that. As you said, the early days we're working 12, 14 plus hour days. That's a real problem. So
yes,
yeah,
that's right.
That's not good. But otherwise, well done. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for your time too.
Pleasure.